Well, I'm stood on the former 09 left runway here at Berlin Tempelhof Airport, and as much as I know this airport's closed, it's been closed for nearly 17 years, it does feel a little bit alien. I'm looking in the sky, hoping an aircraft's not going to decide to land here. But today, I'm going to show you the exclusive behind-the-scenes tour at Berlin Tempelhof Airport. I've got exclusive access. We're going to go inside shortly and show you the former airport, the terminal, and everything around here. So stay tuned, because you don't want to miss this one. It's going to be really special. Getting to Tempelhof is really easy, especially if you're staying centrally. We were based near Unter den Linden, so we took the U6 U-Bahn straight down to Paradstraße, the closest station to the old airport. The journey took around 15 minutes, and the U-Bahn here is fast, reliable and simple to navigate. From the station, it's just a short 5-minute walk to Tempelhof's main entrance, but it's a walk that really sets the mood. You leave the fairly plain Paradstraße station, wander through a quiet residential street, and then suddenly, there it is. That massive monolithic facade begins to rise above the rooftops, and it genuinely takes you by surprise. There's barely any noise, hardly any people, yet you're standing at the doorstep of a building that once stood at the centre of world events. Tempelhof isn't just another disused terminal, it's a place where history has passed through in waves. Its story begins in the 1920s, when this site was used for one of the very first commercial airline services in the world. In fact, by the 1930s, Berlin was already calling it the aviation hub of Europe. But the airport as we know it today was largely shaped during the Nazi era. Under Hitler, Tempelhof was transformed into an architectural and ideological statement, part airport, part propaganda machine. Designed by architect Ernst Sagebiel, who also designed the former Reich Air Ministry building, which now houses the German Finance Ministry, Tempelhof became one of the largest buildings on Earth by floor area, meant to impress and intimidate with its sheer scale. After the war, Tempelhof shifted from a symbol of fascism to one of freedom. In 1948, during the Berlin blockade, this airport became the beating heart of the Berlin airlift, a massive Allied operation that kept West Berlin supplied when the Soviets tried to starve the city into submission. At its peak, a plane landed or took off here every 30 seconds. Pilots risked their lives to fly through fog, snow and Soviet pressure, or to deliver coal, flour, medicine and candy. Tempelhof didn't just serve flights, it served hope. It continued operating through the Cold War, hosting US military operations and civilian flights. Even Pan Am used it as their base in West Berlin. But by the early 2000s, it had become too outdated and too costly. The final flight departed here in 2008. Today, it stands frozen in time, a relic of aviation history, military might, political struggle, and resilience. And now, we get to take a tour inside. Tempelhof's scale is astonishing. The curved facade stretches for over a kilometre. It feels more like an entire district than a former airport. And while no longer active for aviation, the building is far from dormant. Parts are now used by the Berlin Police, Civil Protection Services, and Germany's Federal Archive. Elsewhere, the old offices and hangars house film studios, creative workspaces, and artist collectives. Tempelhof has also become a popular filming location, with scenes from The Hunger Games, Bridge of Spies, and V for Vendetta all shot here. The dramatic architecture makes it perfect for big productions. Today you'll find a mix of quiet activity, people cycling past, artists heading into work, and the occasional event set up. Most areas are restricted or only accessible by a pre-arranged tour, but even from the outside, the sense of scale and repurposing is seriously impressive. outside the Tempelhof Airport, and this really is like a time capsule. It's absolutely fantastic in here. I haven't heard of half of these airlines. Skyfly, Globeground Berlin, Air Service Berlin, Cirrus Airlines. If any of you remember these airlines, get in the comments and let me know, because I have no clue. When this airport closed, I was about 13 years old, 14 years old, so I don't remember any of these airlines, but it really is like a time capsule in here, and it's a fantastic place. It's so cool in here. The Tempelhof corridors echo with a silence that once carried the shuffle of passports and the hum of departures. It's as if time really has stood still in here. A clock still ticks above the old Melly Bees Airport Lounge, named after Germany's first female pilot, and the deep red bar downstairs is completely immaculate. It still looks as if it could welcome passengers even today. Customs booths and baggage reclaim belts stand idle, ghostly reminders of the airport's final chapter. One striking detail is this mural. It's part of Die Welt der Jugend, the World of Youth, a 1980s GDR-era painting meant to symbolise peace, progress and hope. Upstairs, on the first floor, the old restaurant sits under a haze of amber light. Its kitchen dim and dust-covered, but still intact. And everywhere you look, glimpses onto the apron, each one a portal to the past. So currently walking up the stairs to the 6th floor. It's really cool, this place. It's really like a time capsule, like it's stuck in time, and even though it was only nearly 17 years ago, it feels a lot older than that in terms of its design and decor. It really is a cool building. The top floor at Tempelhof unlocks even more incredible memories, including a wall of original plans and drawings by architect Ernst Sagebiel, and directly opposite this, a room that was repurposed as a bowling alley. It was built during the Cold War era when the US military operated the airport, and even today it still has working EU and US plugs. This basketball court at Tempelhof was another addition from the US military era, providing American service members with recreational space during their time stationed at the base. Seen through both my lens and the lens of Adrian Kienz's 2008 photos, Tempelhof feels less like it's been frozen and more like it's been gently left behind. The details may fade, but the character of this place endures, layered, weathered, and quietly unforgettable. This really is a stunning space. When Tempelhof finally closed its doors in 2008, much of Berlin's air traffic shifted to Tegel Airport, the city's main hub at the time, known for its efficient design and easy terminal access. Tegel carried the baton for over a decade before it too was retired in 2020 as all commercial operations moved to the long-delayed Berlin-Brandenburg Airport. Located southeast of the city, BER now serves as Berlin's sole international gateway, a sleek, modern contrast to Tempelhof's monumental past, but one that still carries the legacy of the city's complex aviation story.
So I hope you enjoyed your little tour around Berlin's very old Tempelhof Airport. If you want to do a tour yourself, you can do. You can take tours of around 15-16 people here, and they're available to pre-book online. But honestly, it's been an amazing experience to go back in time, all the way back to 2008. And I've absolutely loved my experience today, and I hope you've enjoyed coming along on this little journey with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.